even that close as we welcome you to the State Farm postgame and get it right back out to Dallas, where Aaron Andrews is standing by with a hero quarterback of the Packers.
He's going to be around for a long, long time.
Well, you know, as I said, what do we say? You got to stop the run. It's like Green Bay knew what the formula was. So what did they do? Feed Aaron Jones. If you don't stop him, we're going to keep running down your throat. 3 touchdowns. Then you understood all the young receivers they had. Wick stepped up the big touchdown early. Had Musgrave with the touchdown. You have Dobbs with the touchdown. All these guys are first or second year guys. So you got this quarterback. You have all those weapons, and you would go, oh, they're going to dominate him in the run game. The Cowboys couldn't stop anything they were doing. Now, Jordan Love looked like he went into the playbook. I don't know what they're teaching these guys up in Green Bay, but he was never had 2 feet on the ground throwing the ball, and he was as accurate as you've seen any quarterback in the league this season. So incredible game by him, incredible game all around, defense, everything else, even though the score doesn't indicate the defense played as well as they did.
They did. Jordan Love, 3 touchdown passes. Aaron Jones ran for 3 touchdowns. We'll get inside that Vic's acting skills on a pregame show with some scenes from Love, actually. He recreated that. No recreation needed inside that historic Packer locker room after the win.
Give it up to everybody in this room. First 7th seed in the history of the NFL playoff game.
Howie, we know where the Green Bay Packers are headed. They're going to San Francisco next week. The question is, what's the future of the Cowboys?
Boy, there's a lot to unpack there. You know, and I'm not sure what the decision is going to be. You've got to make a decision on your head coach. You got to make a decision on your defensive coordinator, if in fact you make a decision on your head coach. But it's become, you wonder why all the detractors of the Cowboys have fun every year. It's the same story every year, and it's, once again, it's a repeat. This is a talented football team that's underachieved. And it, right out of the gate today, they came out. Their defense didn't play well. The offense didn't play well. Right across the board.
Yeah, you know, I have a relationship with Mike McCarthy. I'm not going to lie to you, America. I like him. I like him a lot. It's hard for me to say negative things about him. But at 3 seasons at 12-5, you would think would be enough. But, Jay, I got to say, as he walked off that field and Jerry Jones being at 81 years of age, saying maybe to himself, I've got to make a change now at head coach. Does he do that? Because this is the football team they honestly – they've underachieved.
Jerry was asked about Mike's future last week, and he said, we'll see how each playoff game goes. So it wasn't exactly a vote of confidence here. And you also brought up Dan Quinn. Like, if they moved on from Mike, do they go with Dan Quinn? But you just can't do that. They'll have to interview several people. And Dan Quinn is already on the list for 4 other teams as well. So they do have a lot of coaching decisions to make in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't think Dan Quinn did himself any favors today.
I still think Dan will be a hot candidate around the league. Regardless, he'll still be up there, despite this one game.
All right, that's the future of that team and other teams around the league, maybe involving Dan Quinn. That's waiting for Jerry Jones there in Dallas to talk to the media. I think a lot of people are interested to see about the future of Mike McCarthy because they just had that feeling beforehand.
It's a unique and complicated organization.
Only in Dallas do you see.
But also look what Mike did with Dak this year.
It feels like you're there putting on a performance as a player instead of being a football player. It feels like so theatrical. And that's what I think gets lost in all of this. When we were even there for Jimmy's ceremony, it felt very, you know, you walk into it and you got the fans. Like, let the players play football. They're football players. They're not Broadway performers.
They were not loose today at all.
Not at all.
Time will tell what happens there in Dallas.
K9 said it the best. What they going to say now?
What are they going to say now?
That's all I got, man. On to the next, like Rome said.
On to the next. Hey, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal.
Well, we know the Packers will face the San Francisco 49ers. We don't know which matchup we will have for you, but we will have playoff action for you next weekend right here on Fox, either Saturday or Sunday with our divisional round coverage. That'll be the weekend. And Howard, yes, Dallas did score in that final play the first half, but let's not lose sight of how dominant Jordan Love and the Packers were.
Yeah, 2 things they drafted in Green Bay, well, quarterbacks, obviously, and young wide receivers, and they were on full display today. Jordan Love certainly snatching the moment down there in Dallas. No stage too big. Off-platform throws, time, drops the shoulder down, middle of the field. Dobbs, 22, now he resets his feet. Again, something you saw Favre do, something you saw Jordan Love do. Now he's doing it. This great throw in the middle of the field. Safety voided in the middle of the field. He sees it, makes the throw. He's been pretty flawless in the first half.
With that being said, Howie, what about Matt LaFleur with the game that he is calling, it has been magical so far. He's well balanced on the offensive side of the ball. 15 runs, 16 passes, and it all started with the coin flip. They elected to receive the ball, and then they marched down the field with confidence and scored on that very first drive. And also, he has that defense playing on their toes, very alert, in the position to make plays. Therefore, that's why they have 2 interceptions so far. He's calling a great game, and on the Dallas Cowboys side, if Mike McCarthy doesn't have a magical comeback this half, hey, this might be his last game as a Dallas Cowboy.
Ooh, Gronky throwing it out there. But one thing we talked about, Green Bay Packers were on their streak. Jordan Love protected the ball. Opposite of what's going on in Dallas right now with Dak Prescott. And you can tell they must feel the pressure because, I mean, Dak has just been a little off here. He throws the slant to a small receiver. Alexander, who wasn't even really was questionable to play, jumps in for the great interception. Here, once Dak is off his mark, he always seems to be a little off. Couldn't get the ball downfield. That sack took them out of field goal range. And here, he and CeeDee Lamb don't seem to be on the same page. You saw the coaches talking to CeeDee Lamb. You saw him talking to CeeDee Lamb. Now he's forcing the ball to CeeDee Lamb. Defenses recognize that. And the one thing that was very telling to me, they had a cutaway where CeeDee Lamb was out of a route. He got pushed by the DB. Just took it. Didn't turn around. Didn't confront. Didn't do anything. It's almost conceded to
Final play of the first half. The Cowboys, Jimmy, get a touchdown to keep hope alive. If you're in that locker room, what message do you give to the Cowboy players?
Well, first of all, I can't say what I would say now on television, but I'll just say this. Every single one of you, you know how hard we've worked. I don't need to have people pointing the fingers one thing or another. You get your rear end in there and you play the way you know how to play. We can win the game. We're going to open it up. We're going to go fast tempo. Defense, get after Jordan Love. You can't give him that much time. You do what you're supposed to do, we'll win this game.
All right. That got Michael fired. He's got everybody fired up.
No, Mike, no!
Let me get fired. Me first, you, Ryan.
I could not agree
That's
more.
embarrassing.
You cannot play this game uptight.
No.
I'll tell you, you get tunnel vision. Michael and I were talking about you can't see anything. You got to relax. You got to trust yourself and respond to everything that's happening. You get the ball the second half, right off the bat. Down the field we go. Now it's 27-14. And here's the thing. All of a sudden, the young team, the Green Bay Packers, saying, whoa, just a minute here. Get them on edge. Right now, they're having their way. I go back to yesterday's Houston game. That was a shocker. No more so than what I'm seeing right now.
You know what they say? You play to win. You don't play not to lose.
Yep. And the Cowboys get the ball to start the second half. Could this be the biggest comeback in their playoff history?
Các bạn vừa xem xong video phân tích của chúng tôi. Sau đây sẽ là video hướng dẫn cách làm chiếc túi xách gắn hình vô diện của chúng tôi. Bây giờ các bạn bắt đầu làm cùng mình nhé. Để làm chiếc túi xách gắn hình vô diện đáng yêu như của mình thì các bạn cần chuẩn bị giấy thủ công màu trắng, giấy thủ công màu đen và giấy thủ công màu vàng, compa, bút mực, bút chì, kéo, một hộp màu sáp dầu hoặc là bút dạ và một chiếc súng bắn keo nến. Sau khi chuẩn bị đầy đủ các dụng cụ trên, thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ cùng bắt tay vào thực hiện nhé. Đầu tiên, ở trên cái tờ giấy thủ công màu vàng này, mình sẽ dùng kéo cắt một cái đoạn giấy có kích thước khoảng 1 cm x 30 cm. Sau khi hoàn thiện cái túi thì mình sẽ dùng cái đoạn giấy này để làm cái quai xách cho chiếc túi. Tiếp theo, các bạn tiếp tục cắt một cái sợi giấy nữa có kích thước 2 x 30 cm. Mình sẽ dùng cái đoạn giấy này để làm cái cạnh túi. Bây giờ ở trên cái khổ giấy còn lại của mình, các bạn sẽ gấp đôi cái tờ giấy của mình lại. Sau đó mình dùng compa vẽ một hình tròn phía trên của cái tờ giấy này. Mình sẽ dùng cái hình này để làm phần thân cho chiếc túi. Và bây giờ các bạn sẽ dùng kéo để cắt cái hình tròn này ra nhé. Mình sẽ cắt theo cái nét bút chì của mình đã vẽ như thế này. Sau khi cắt xong thì mình có hai cái hình tròn màu vàng có kích thước bằng nhau. Bây giờ mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tạo hình vô diện để mình gắn trang trí lên trên cái túi của mình. Các bạn dùng giấy thủ công màu đen. Mình sẽ mở cái tờ giấy của mình ra. Bây giờ mình sẽ đặt cái hình tròn màu vàng lên trên cái mẩu giấy đen này. Sau đó dùng bút chì để đánh dấu cái kích thước đường kính của hình tròn. Tiếp theo, mình sẽ vẽ cái hình vô diện ở phía bên trong cái mẩu giấy màu đen này. Mình sẽ tạo hình cho cái hình vô diện của mình. Và bây giờ mình sẽ dùng kéo để cắt cái hình này ra. Các bạn sẽ cắt theo cái nét bút chì của mình đã vẽ như thế này nha. Sau khi cắt xong thì mình có cái hình nhịp màu đen như thế này. Mình sẽ dùng súng bắn keo để gắn cái hình này lên trên cái hình tròn màu vàng của mình. Sau khi gắn keo thì các bạn đặt cái hình màu đen này lên trên cái phần keo dán.